Every day you wake up, you take a breath. The world stirs around you, and you find yourself in yet another moment of existence. That alone is a victory. It is easy to feel defeated by the weight of our ambitions, the struggles of daily life, or the fear that we are somehow falling behind. But what if I told you that, in the eyes of the Stoics, every moment you persist, every second you choose to keep moving, you are already winning? The ancient Stoics understood something most people today fail to grasp. Winning is not measured in trophies, money, or applause. Winning is measured in motion, in the simple act of continuing, of striving, of embracing every challenge that life throws at you with courage and perseverance. It is not about avoiding struggle, but about how you respond to it. Every difficulty is an opportunity in disguise, every hardship a training ground for your resilience. The measure of victory is not found in external rewards, but in the strength of your inner world. You are winning every day you wake up. You are winning every time you choose resilience over surrender. You are winning every time you take a step forward, no matter how small. Your age does not define you. Your past mistakes do not confine you. Every moment presents a choice, to remain still or to advance. Even when progress seems slow, even when the path is unclear, the mere act of trying is proof that you are already ahead. The only thing that matters is that you keep moving. Life itself is motion. The universe is in constant flux, and so too are we. The Stoics teach that everything is in motion, from the stars above to the very breath in your lungs. Nothing truly stays the same, which means that every setback is temporary, every pain is transient, and every obstacle is just another piece of the journey. When you embrace this truth, worry fades into insignificance. Instead of fearing change, you welcome it. Instead of resenting difficulty, you master it. You come to see that life is a process, not a race, and that every day you endure, you have already won. Consider the stars that glitter in the night sky. They are distant suns, many of which have already burned out, yet their light continues to travel across the cosmos, reaching us years after they've gone. The Stoics taught that our lives are like these stars, brief in the grand tapestry of the universe, yet impactful. By embracing our mortality, we shine brighter in the time we have. And so, in this video, we will break down how the Stoics defined true victory, how they trained their minds to see life through a different lens, and how you can embody this philosophy to eliminate worry and embrace the quiet, unstoppable progress that is already happening in your life. This is the way of the Stoic. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Age is a lie. You can change at any time. Many believe that their best years are behind them. They think that age locks them into place, that it is too late to change, too late to start something new. The Stoics reject this notion entirely, for they understood that growth is not confined to youth. The human spirit, like the mind, is boundless. It does not age in the way the body does. It is not limited by a numerical value, but by perception and action. If you believe change is possible, then it is. If you decide to act, then transformation is inevitable. Consider the example of Cato the Elder, who began studying Greek in his old age, refusing to believe that learning was only for the young, or Epictetus, who transformed himself from a slave into a philosopher, proving that external circumstances hold no power over the internal will. These men, like many before and after them, defied conventional wisdom by embracing change at any stage in life. They understood that the will to grow is the only thing that truly matters. The mind is timeless. The soul is ageless. Change is always within your grasp. Every moment you're alive is an opportunity to redefine yourself, to learn something new, to take a step forward. You are not stuck. You are never too late. Age is merely a number, but choice is everything. If you believe your best days are gone, they will be. But if you see each day as a new opportunity to improve, then you are always in a state of victory. Growth has no expiration date. Your potential does not diminish with time. It expands as you gather experience, wisdom, and resilience. Imagine an artist working on a painting. If they stop midway and assume the piece is ruined, it remains unfinished. But if they continue blending colors, reshaping figures, and refining details, the work evolves into something greater than before. Your life is much the same, a canvas upon which you can always create. The only requirement is that you continue. Your brush is in your hand. The choice to paint, to redefine, to evolve is always available to you. The key to fulfillment is understanding that your masterpiece is never truly complete. Each day, each decision, each effort adds another stroke to the canvas of your life. The question is not whether you can change, but whether you are willing to pick up the brush and continue painting. Think of the greats who refused to let time dictate their worth. Socrates began his philosophical quest in his middle age. Colonel Sanders launched his fried chicken empire in his 60s. Harland David Sanders could have accepted obscurity, but instead he changed his fate. The truth is, the human spirit does not grow old. It is curiosity, enthusiasm, and determination that keep it young. The greatest mistake is believing that because you have lived many years, your best contributions are behind you. In reality, every passing day is more experience, more understanding, more perspective that you can use to build something even greater. The person who understands this truth no longer sees aging as a decline, but as an accumulation of power. Wisdom, clarity, and resilience increase with time, allowing you to act with greater precision and purpose. Age should never be an excuse to stop moving forward. The past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. The Stoics remind us that the only true loss is surrender. The only true defeat is stagnation. So long as you are breathing, you are capable of change, growth, and progress. You are not bound by the expectations of society, nor by the assumptions of others about what can or cannot be done at a certain age. Your life belongs to you alone. Your journey is yours to shape. And that is what it means to win. Not by comparison to others, not by the measures imposed upon you by external forces, but by the quiet, steady progression of your own will. If you continue to evolve, to learn, to strive toward what is meaningful, then you are always in motion. And as long as you are in motion, you are never defeated. Age does not limit possibility. Only fear does. Only hesitation. Only the unwillingness to break through the mental chains of self-imposed barriers. A river never questions if it should flow. It simply moves. The wind does not second-guess where it should go. It simply carries forward. The universe itself is a testament to the necessity of motion. Nothing remains stagnant, and nothing is ever truly finished. Likewise, your life is not a static entity, but a constantly shifting journey, one that can be directed, molded, and redefined at any moment. Even history's greatest minds knew this truth. Leonardo da Vinci continued to pursue new ideas and studies well into the later years of his life. Benjamin Franklin, in his old age, was still crafting innovations, shaping thought, and influencing the world. And even today, we see countless examples of those who refuse to let the passing of time dictate their relevance. Each day lived is another opportunity to become someone greater, someone wiser, someone more resilient. You are not racing against time. You are growing with it. The only limitation is the one you choose to accept. And when you realize that, when you see that your power only expands with each day you live, you will understand that every moment you persist is already a victory. Every challenge you face is not a sign of decline, but of strength. Every year that passes is not a loss, but an accumulation of wisdom and experience that fortifies your ability to navigate life with greater clarity and purpose. When you embrace this, you will stop seeing age as a countdown and start seeing it as an evolution, a deepening, an ongoing masterpiece that you are privileged to shape. The only real failure is stopping, for the moment you believe you can no longer change is the moment you have chosen defeat. But if you continue, if you rise each day with the belief that you are still capable of growth, of action, of transformation, then you are not merely existing, you are thriving. And in that, you are already victorious. Chapter 2. Motion is everything. In the universe, everything is in motion. The rivers flow, the winds shift, the planets turn. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, what stands in the way becomes the way. Life is not about stagnation, it is about movement. When we feel stuck, when we feel like we are losing, it is often because we have stopped moving. But stagnation is an illusion, a temporary state of mind. Even when you feel motionless, life itself is still carrying you forward. Every breath you take, every thought you process, every experience you absorb, these are all part of your continuous motion. To exist is to be in motion. It is the nature of all things in the universe. The tides do not question whether to rise and fall. They simply do. The seasons do not hesitate in their cycle. They move forward, as must we. Motion does not have to be grand. A single step, a small effort, a tiny shift in perspective, all of these are motion. And motion is life. The person who refuses to give up is always winning because they are still in the game. The only way to truly lose is to stop trying. Motion is not about speed, it is about consistency, about steady progression rather than sudden leaps. The oak tree does not grow overnight, but with every passing moment, its roots deepen, its branches extend, its leaves expand toward the sun. The same principle applies to us. Growth may be imperceptible in the moment, but over time it becomes undeniable. Every effort compounds, every lesson builds upon the last, every hardship endured strengthens the foundation for what is to come. To remain in motion is to remain engaged with life. Every time you choose to take action rather than submit to despair, you are winning. Even when your efforts seem fruitless, even when progress is invisible, movement is still happening beneath the surface. A river continues to flow even when its progress is slow, carving deep into stone over time, creating new paths where none existed before. You too are carving your own path. You may not see it today, but every action, every step, every decision is shaping the course of your life. Even when setbacks arise, they are not indications of failure, but part of the process. Just as a sculptor chisels away excess stone to reveal the masterpiece within, life removes the unnecessary, sharpening and refining you along the way. Winning is not about perfection, it is about persistence. It is about moving, even when you feel exhausted. It is about taking the next step, even when you are uncertain. It is about continuing forward, despite the weight of doubt, fear, and adversity. The moment you understand this, you will see that you have never truly been stuck, only in motion at a pace unseen. Every day you rise, every moment you try, you are moving. And in movement, there is always victory. The Stoics teach us that there is no shame in slow progress, only in stopping altogether. When the mind is clouded with hesitation, when the body feels drained from effort, it is easy to believe that remaining still is the only option. But stillness is an illusion. Even in moments of exhaustion, we are shifting, learning, and preparing for what comes next. Each breath is a step, each thought a movement, each decision, even the smallest, an act of forward motion. Ask yourself, what is one small action you can take today to move forward? What is one step, however small, that will keep you in motion? Winning is not about speed, it is about persistence. One step forward is a victory, no matter how small. The act of moving forward, of continuing despite obstacles, is itself the definition of success. True defeat only comes when you stop moving altogether. So long as you keep going, you are always in motion, and as long as you are in motion, you are winning. The ancient philosopher Heraclitus once said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." This means that change is constant, and so are we. Every second we exist, we evolve. Even when we feel trapped, our thoughts are reshaping, our perspectives shifting, and our understanding deepening. If we embrace this reality, we realize that movement is inevitable. To resist change is to resist the nature of existence itself. Picture a traveler crossing a vast desert. The landscape stretches endlessly before him, and his pace is slow. Each step feels insignificant, barely making a dent in the miles ahead. Yet, with every step, he moves forward. Days pass, and as he turns to look back, he sees how far he has come. What once seemed impossible, a journey too great to complete, has become his past, conquered through persistence alone. You are that traveler. Your challenges are your landscape, your steps are your victories, and each moment you refuse to give up, you are winning the battle of endurance and progress. Remember, motion is not about grand gestures or rapid acceleration. It is about choosing to move, however small that movement may be. It is about understanding that even the longest road is walked step by step. There will be moments of stillness, moments of doubt, but so long as you make the choice to continue, you will always be on the path of victory. Chapter 3. The Illusion of Failure. Seneca once wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Yet, in today's world, difficulties are often mistaken for failures. If we struggle, if we falter, we assume we are losing. But this is a false perception, a trick of the mind that keeps us from seeing the truth. Struggle is growth. Struggle is proof that you are moving forward. Each challenge, each setback, each hardship is a sign that you are being refined, not diminished. Imagine a sculptor working on a masterpiece. Each strike of the chisel seems to damage the marble, but in reality, it is shaping something magnificent. Life works the same way. The challenges that seem to wear you down are actually carving you into a stronger, wiser, more resilient person. The rough edges of your experience are being chipped away, revealing the refined version of yourself underneath. Every hardship you endure is sculpting your character, making you sharper, more aware, and more capable. The Stoics understood that true growth happens in the moments of greatest difficulty. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What this means is that external circumstances do not determine your success. Your reaction to them does. You might not control the storms of life, but you can control how you navigate through them. Every trial is an opportunity, every setback is a lesson, and every challenge is a teacher waiting to instruct you in the art of resilience. Struggle is not the enemy. The enemy is the belief that struggle means failure. Growth is often uncomfortable, and progress does not always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels like breaking apart. But just like a muscle being torn so it can rebuild stronger, your challenges are breaking down the weak parts of you so that you can emerge stronger. The discomfort of struggle is the very evidence of transformation. Without resistance, there is no strength. Without difficulty, there is no refinement. The oak tree does not grow tall in a sheltered garden. It stands firm by weathering storms. The human spirit operates in the same way. Every difficulty faced, every hardship endured, every painful moment survived contributes to your growth. It is not the absence of obstacles that defines success. It is the ability to endure them, to learn from them, and to continue forward despite them. There is a tendency to see struggle as something to be avoided, something that diminishes us. But the Stoics understood that adversity is not an enemy, it is a forge. It is the fire that tempers the steel of our character. A blade that has never been tested in the fire remains weak, brittle, and ineffective. It is only through the repeated trials of heat and hammer that it becomes something strong, something unbreakable. Your struggles are the forge that refines you, that polishes you into something greater than you were before. Think back to the moments of your life when you grew the most. Were they times of ease and comfort, or were they moments when you faced hardship, uncertainty, and difficulty? Growth does not happen in stillness. It happens when we are pushed beyond our limits, forced to expand, to evolve, to become something more. When you feel the weight of struggle, remind yourself that you are in the process of transformation, that every difficulty is adding to your strength, preparing you for greater victories ahead. So the next time you face hardship, do not shrink away. Do not see it as an end, but as a beginning. Each challenge you overcome is another brick laid in the foundation of your strength. And when you look back on your journey, you will see that the moments of greatest struggle were also the moments of greatest growth. That is the true essence of winning. Ask yourself, how often have you overcome something that once seemed impossible? The trials of today are shaping the triumphs of tomorrow. The discomfort you feel in moments of struggle is simply growth in disguise. To win, you must first endure. And if you are enduring, then you are already winning. Chapter 4. The Battle Against Overthinking. Overthinking is one of the greatest enemies of motion. It paralyzes us, convincing us that we are not ready, that we must wait for the perfect moment. It feeds on hesitation, growing stronger with each passing second of inaction. The Stoics, however, teach us that the perfect moment does not exist. There is only now. Action must come first. Clarity follows. The more we delay, the more our doubts multiply, weaving a web of paralysis that keeps us trapped in a cycle of indecision. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How often have you imagined failure only to find that reality was much kinder? The mind conjures fears, doubts, and what-ifs, but they are illusions. The weight of potential failure, the fear of judgment, the anxiety of not being prepared, these are all constructs of the mind, shadows that dissipate the moment you take action. The antidote is movement. The only way to silence the noise of overthinking is to move forward despite it. The more you act, the quieter the doubts become. Imagine standing at the edge of a cold lake or river, hesitating to step in. You anticipate discomfort, your mind exaggerating the sensation of the icy water. But the moment you step forward, your body adapts. What once seemed unbearable becomes manageable. This is the nature of action. It shrinks fear, it dismantles hesitation, and it replaces uncertainty with experience. Overthinking is like standing on the riverbank, analyzing every possible outcome instead of simply stepping in. The greatest enemy is not failure, but hesitation. The greatest battle is not with external forces, but with the internal resistance that urges you to wait, to analyze, to delay. Recognize this resistance for what it is, a test of your resolve. The sooner you act, the sooner clarity will follow. Hesitation is a thief. It steals time, energy, and opportunity. Every time you delay action, you allow doubt to grow stronger. The mind, left unchecked, will always find reasons to hesitate. What if I fail? What if I'm not ready? What if I make a mistake? But hesitation does not protect you, it imprisons you. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of over-analysis, preventing you from experiencing the very lessons that come from action. The Stoics understood that true growth does not come from endless contemplation, but from stepping forward and learning through experience. You do not need perfect conditions to begin. You do not need absolute certainty to take a step. If you wait for the right moment, you will wait forever. The truth is, clarity follows action, not the other way around. All you need is the willingness to start, to move despite uncertainty, to silence doubt through action. Once you take the first step, the fog of hesitation begins to lift, and you gain the perspective needed to continue forward. Every great achievement, every moment of progress, begins with a single step. The tallest mountain was climbed one step at a time. The greatest book was written one word at a time. The most successful ventures started as a single idea put into motion. The difference between those who achieve and those who remain stagnant is not intelligence, luck, or talent. It is action. It is the refusal to be paralyzed by indecision. It is the recognition that motion itself is the catalyst for progress. Ask yourself, what is one action, no matter how small, that you can take today? What is one decision you can make that will move you forward? Do not wait for permission, for validation, or for a guarantee of success. The perfect moment will never arrive because perfection is an illusion created by fear. Start now. Every great journey, every monumental achievement began with a single, uncertain step. The difference between success and stagnation lies in that first motion. The sooner you take that step, the sooner you win the battle against overthinking. Even the smallest action disrupts the cycle of hesitation. Once you begin, you will see that action creates momentum, momentum creates confidence, and confidence destroys hesitation. When confidence takes root, doubt begins to wither. Movement in any direction clarifies the path ahead, revealing opportunities that hesitation kept hidden. Imagine standing at the edge of a dense fog. If you remain still, the fog remains thick, obscuring what lies ahead. But if you take a step, the path slowly becomes clearer, your perspective shifts, and the fog begins to part. This is the power of action. It brings clarity that no amount of passive contemplation can achieve. Each step forward is a signal to the mind that progress is happening, that possibilities are expanding, and that growth is inevitable. You do not need to see the entire journey to take the first step. You do not need complete certainty to begin. All you need is the courage to move, the willingness to risk failure, and the faith that every forward motion propels you towards something greater. The moment you choose action over hesitation, you are already winning. Keep moving, and the path will reveal itself as you go. Chapter 5. Adversity as a Teacher. Life does not test the weak. It tests the strong. The Stoics embraced adversity because they understood that hardship is the forge of greatness. Struggle is not a punishment, but a lesson, a refining fire that tempers the spirit and makes it unbreakable. It is in difficulty that we meet our true selves, stripped of illusion, revealing what we are truly capable of. Consider a marathon runner pushing through the final miles of an exhausting race. The untrained runner views fatigue as a sign to stop, believing that pain is an indicator of failure. But the seasoned athlete understands that the discomfort is not a signal to quit. It is a sign of progress, of transformation, of growth. The pain is proof that they are becoming stronger, pushing past their limits and proving their resilience. In the same way, adversity does not determine your fate. It is your response to it that matters. Challenges are not punishments. They are the training ground that strengthens your endurance, sharpens your discipline, and deepens your wisdom. It is easy to wish for an effortless journey, But strength is only built through persistence, and perseverance is forged in difficulty. Only through struggle do we discover how far we can truly go. There is a saying, "A sword is forged in fire and shaped by the hammer's blow." Hardship is the fire that tempers us, making us resilient, unbreakable, and sharp. Without struggle, we remain untested, fragile, and easily broken. If we avoid challenges, we avoid growth. If we fear struggle, we forfeit our potential. It is through pain that we develop endurance, through adversity that we cultivate wisdom, and through hardship that we build the resilience to withstand future trials. Just as a blade becomes stronger through repeated striking and refining, so too do we become more formidable through the trials we face. Consider the journey of a butterfly. A caterpillar does not become a butterfly through ease. It must fight to break free from its cocoon. The struggle is not a mistake, it is a necessity. If the process were painless, the butterfly would emerge weak, unable to fly. In the same way, our struggles are what give us strength. Without resistance, we do not develop the power to spread our wings. If we embrace this truth, we no longer see adversity as an enemy, but as the force that transforms us into something greater than we once were. What challenge are you facing right now? Instead of fearing it, welcome it. See it as your personal teacher, guiding you toward resilience and mastery. Every great person who has ever lived has faced adversity. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors, ruled Rome during plagues, wars, and betrayals, yet he met each hardship with unwavering discipline and inner strength. He did not ask for an easier life. He trained himself to be stronger. Like a warrior sharpening his blade before battle, he used adversity to refine his mind and spirit. You too have that power within you. Your hardships are not barriers, they are your training ground. Each time you face difficulty with courage, you are sculpting yourself into someone greater. So embrace the fire, break free from the cocoon, and know that every struggle carries within it the seed of your transformation. You are not losing, you are evolving into something far stronger than you ever imagined. Chapter 6. The Power of Gratitude, Recognizing Your Wins. In the pursuit of greatness, we often overlook the victories we have already achieved. The mind is conditioned to seek what is missing, what is lacking, what is still undone. But the Stoics remind us that a key to inner peace is recognizing and appreciating the progress we have already made. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not indulge in dreams of what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours." Gratitude is a superpower. It shifts your focus from what is absent to what is present. It reminds you that every step forward, no matter how small, is a win. Think of the obstacles you have already overcome, the hardships you have endured, the strength you have built along the way. You are standing today because of those victories. Every moment you have persevered, every challenge you have endured, has strengthened you in ways you may not even realize. Too often, we measure success by the biggest milestones, the promotions, the accolades, the public recognition. But the Stoics knew that true victory is found in the quiet, consistent progress of everyday life. It is in the battles fought in silence, the strength built in adversity, and the endurance shown when no one is watching. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, perseverance over despair, and wisdom over impulse, you are winning. The mere fact that you are here, that you are striving to grow, is evidence that you are already succeeding. Instead of worrying about what is next, take a moment to acknowledge where you are. Write down 3 things you have accomplished in the last year, big or small. Reflect on the progress you have made, not just externally, but internally. Have you become more patient, more resilient, more understanding? These are victories just as much as any tangible achievement. Growth is not always visible, but it is always happening. The key is to recognize it. Gratitude transforms how we experience life. It allows us to see that we are not lacking but evolving, that we are not failing but learning, and that we are not losing but moving forward. But gratitude is not merely a passive feeling. It is a practice, a discipline. It requires conscious effort to pause, reflect, and acknowledge the abundance already present in our lives. The Stoics saw gratitude not as an occasional sentiment, but as a daily exercise in shifting our focus toward what truly matters. Think of the small victories that often go unnoticed, the times you showed kindness when it was difficult, the moments you overcame self-doubt, the days you pushed through exhaustion to continue on your path. These are signs that you are already succeeding, proof that you are stronger than you think. The key is to stop fixating on what is missing and start recognizing what is already present. True winning lies in this awareness. Each morning, take a moment to reflect on what you already have. The air in your lungs, the opportunities before you, the lessons you have learned. Write them down. Speak them aloud. Let gratitude anchor you in the present. When you recognize that you are already winning, worry loses its grip and confidence takes its place. Life is not about waiting to be victorious. It is about realizing that you already are. The more you practice gratitude, the more you will see that success is not something in the distance. It is something you are already living. Chapter 7. The Unshakable Calm, Responding to Chaos. Life is unpredictable. Challenges appear without warning, and chaos often disrupts even the best-laid plans. Many people react with panic, frustration, or despair, but the Stoic remains calm. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Imagine a driver caught in heavy traffic. Cars honk, tempers flare, and frustration builds as the minutes pass. The impatient driver bangs the steering wheel, yells at other drivers, and allows the situation to control their emotions. But the calm driver understands that no amount of frustration will change the traffic. Instead of reacting with anger, they turn on music, take deep breaths, and accept the reality of the moment. They do not resist what they cannot control. They simply adjust their mindset and navigate with patience. The Stoic mind functions in the same way. While external events may create temporary waves of disturbance, true strength lies in maintaining inner stillness, a state of calm that no external force can shake. Like the calm driver, you can choose to respond with wisdom instead of frustration. Focus on what you can control and refuse to let the chaos of the world dictate your emotions. To cultivate this, remind yourself that you control only your actions and mindset. You cannot prevent life's traffic jams, sudden detours, or unexpected delays, but you can determine how you navigate them. Just as a skilled driver adapts to roadblocks rather than letting frustration consume them, you can choose patience, perspective, and presence over emotional turmoil. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your ability to remain calm under pressure. Think of an athlete who trains in high-pressure situations. A basketball player practices shooting under loud distractions so that in a real game, their focus remains unshaken. A firefighter prepares for high-stress rescue operations so that when danger arises, they act with precision rather than panic. The more you train your mind to embrace stillness amidst chaos, the more resilient you become. Calmness is not a passive state. It is a discipline, a skill that must be cultivated through repeated exposure to adversity. When faced with difficulties, ask yourself, am I allowing external events to dictate my emotions, or am I standing firm in my own perspective? Am I reacting impulsively, or am I responding with clarity? The more you practice this, the more you embody the unshakable calm of the Stoic warrior, strong, steady, and resilient, no matter the storm. With each test of patience, you grow stronger. With each moment of restraint, you build control. And with each victory over frustration, you reinforce the truth that real strength is the ability to remain composed, no matter what the world throws your way. Chapter 8: Finding Freedom Through Simplicity. In a world obsessed with accumulation, more wealth, more possessions, more status, the Stoics remind us that true freedom lies in simplicity. The more we desire, the more we become slaves to our wants. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Think of a traveler on a long journey. If he carries too much, he is weighed down, exhausted, and unable to move freely. But if he carries only what he needs, he moves with ease. Life is the same. The less we are attached to material things, the more we are free to focus on what truly matters: wisdom, virtue, and inner peace. Ask yourself, what do I truly need to be happy? What unnecessary burdens am I carrying? By simplifying your life, you lighten your load, free your mind, and step into a state of peace that no external possession can provide. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control and release attachment to what we cannot. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Much of our suffering comes from our attachment to outcomes beyond our control. We worry about how others will perceive us, whether our efforts will be rewarded, or if life will unfold the way we planned. But this is an illusion of control. True mastery lies in focusing on our actions, not the results. Think of a gardener planting seeds. They carefully till the soil, provide water, and ensure the plants receive enough sunlight. But after doing everything within their power, they must surrender the rest to nature. Some seeds will sprout quickly, others may take time, and a few may never grow at all. If the gardener obsesses over controlling every outcome, they invite unnecessary frustration. But if they focus on their role, nurturing the soil and tending to the plants with care, they find peace in knowing they have done their part. Life is much the same. You cannot force immediate results, nor can you predict every outcome. But you can control the effort you put in, the patience you cultivate, and the wisdom you gain along the way. Trust that your consistent efforts will bear fruit in time. Do your best, but detach from the need for a perfect result. This is how the Stoic mind remains unshaken. Chapter 9: The Strength of Discipline. Discipline is freedom. In a world where distractions are constant, the ability to focus and control one's desires is a superpower. The Stoics understood this well. Seneca warned against indulging in excess, reminding us that the more we chase pleasure, the more we become enslaved by it. True strength comes not from doing whatever we want, but from having the discipline to do what is necessary. Every time you choose discipline over indulgence, you are winning. Every moment you resist procrastination, laziness, or weakness, you are strengthening your willpower. The mind, like a muscle, grows stronger with use. A life of discipline is not one of restriction, but of mastery. It is the key to achieving greatness in any pursuit. Mastering impulses is one of the greatest tests of self-discipline, and resisting unhealthy urges is a daily victory. For men, avoiding the impulse to view adult content is not just about self-control. It is about protecting focus, confidence, and mental clarity. Indulging in fleeting pleasures weakens the will, making the mind more prone to distraction and dependence. The Stoics taught that true strength comes from governing one's desires rather than being ruled by them. Each time you resist an unhealthy impulse, you reinforce your ability to control your own mind. You prove that you are the master, not the slave, of your urges. Over time, these small acts of restraint build unshakable discipline, allowing you to channel your energy into pursuits that elevate you rather than weaken you. You are already winning in ways you may not realize. Every time you choose resilience over despair, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your circumstances. Each day you rise, despite your doubts, fears, or setbacks, is a silent victory. Every lesson learned, every moment of growth, and every step forward, no matter how small, is evidence that you are succeeding in the grand scheme of life. Think of all the versions of yourself that existed before today, the one who doubted, who feared, who hesitated. Yet, here you are, still standing, still striving, still moving forward. That is a triumph. Winning is not a single moment of glory. It is the accumulation of perseverance, of quiet determination, of choosing to continue even when the path is unclear. Your challenges do not define you. Your response to them does. The obstacles you face are not meant to break you, but to shape you into someone wiser and more capable. The mere fact that you continue to grow, adapt, and strive for better proves that you are already on the path of success. Winning is not the absence of hardship, it is the mastery of endurance. So remind yourself, every breath you take, every lesson you learn, every moment of effort is a testament to your progress. You do not need external validation to know you are winning. It is happening right now, in real time, in the simple act of continuing forward. When you plant a seed, you do not expect it to bloom overnight. You water it, nurture it, and provide the best conditions for it to grow, but the timeline is not yours to dictate. Life operates the same way. Effort is required, but patience is essential. The Stoic recognizes that frustration comes from the desire for instant results. Instead of worrying about when success will come, focus on the process. Commit to your actions and let the results unfold in their own time. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is happening, like your work is not yielding progress. This is when most people give up. But growth is often invisible at first. Just as roots develop beneath the soil before a plant emerges, your persistence is shaping something greater beneath the surface. The Stoic mind trusts the process, understanding that perseverance is itself a victory. Worry stems from the fear of failure, of putting in effort and seeing no return. But what if success is simply persistence? What if the only true failure is giving up too soon? The Stoics believed that every day you stay on your path, every time you choose action over fear, you are already winning. Your efforts are never wasted. They are shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself, your responsibility is not to control the outcome, but to show up, to do the work, and to cultivate patience. Trust that the effort you invest today will lead to something greater tomorrow. With this mindset, worry dissolves, replaced by the quiet confidence of knowing you are always moving forward. Chapter 10. The Final Victory. Mastery of the Self. Winning in life is not about defeating others. It is not about wealth, status, or accolades. The ultimate victory is mastery over yourself. The Stoics understood that the only battle worth fighting is the battle within, the struggle against fear, doubt, desire, and ego. This is where true power resides, in the ability to maintain control over one's own mind and not be swayed by external circumstances. The person who can control their thoughts, their emotions, and their actions is truly free. The person who remains unshaken by loss, unfazed by criticism, and unmoved by praise has achieved true power. They no longer depend on outside validation to define their worth. They are not trapped in cycles of worry because they understand that external events are beyond their control. Their focus is entirely on self-mastery, on refining their character, and on aligning their actions with virtue. Imagine being in a busy coffee shop. The sounds of conversation, clattering cups, and background music creating a constant hum of distraction. Some people glance at their phones every few seconds, checking notifications, responding to messages, and getting lost in the noise. But then there is one person sitting quietly, fully immersed in a book, sipping their coffee, undisturbed by the commotion around them. They have chosen focus over distraction, presence over impulsivity. This is the essence of the Stoic mind. The world is full of noise, competing for your attention and pulling you in every direction. But just like the person lost in their book, you can train yourself to remain centered despite the chaos. Mastering your mind means choosing where your attention goes, refusing to be controlled by external events, and staying composed no matter what happens around you. When you dictate your own internal state instead of letting the world dictate it for you, you have already won. To reach this level of mastery, one must practice awareness and discipline daily. Every moment presents a choice, to react or to respond, to be ruled by impulse or by wisdom. The Stoics understood that freedom is not found in indulging every desire, but in restraining the self and directing one's energy toward what truly matters. This is why winning is not about external accomplishments, but about conquering the internal world. Winning every day is not about grand achievements or public recognition. It is about the small, daily victories of self-mastery. Every time you resist the urge to act impulsively, every time you choose patience over frustration, and every time you hold yourself accountable for your actions, you are winning. Self-mastery is not about perfection, but about the conscious effort to be better today than you were yesterday. One of the greatest victories in life is mastering your emotions. Instead of being a slave to anger, fear, or anxiety, you learn to observe these emotions without letting them control your actions. When you can experience stress without becoming overwhelmed or face criticism without reacting defensively, you have already won. The external world loses its power over you because you have gained control over yourself. Another silent victory of self-mastery is discipline. In a world filled with distractions, the ability to focus on what truly matters is rare. Each time you choose to work on your goals rather than indulge in fleeting pleasures, each time you wake up early to pursue something meaningful, each time you commit to a routine that strengthens your mind and body, you are reinforcing the habits that lead to long-term success. True discipline is freedom, the freedom to shape your own destiny rather than be controlled by fleeting desires. Mastering yourself also means mastering your thoughts. The mind is a powerful force, capable of creating both obstacles and opportunities. If you allow negative thoughts to dictate your perspective, you will see failure in every challenge. But if you train your mind to find solutions instead of problems, to focus on gratitude rather than lack, you will begin to see how much you are already winning. Your mindset is your strongest weapon. Sharpen it, and the world becomes a place of growth rather than defeat. Every day that you stay true to your values, that you resist distraction, that you cultivate patience and focus, you are proving to yourself that you are in control. Winning is not a moment, it is a practice, a way of life. The true test of success is not found in external rewards, but in the mastery of your own mind and actions. When you realize that self-mastery is the greatest victory, you stop chasing approval from the outside world and start building unshakable confidence from within. So ask yourself, are you in control of your mind, or does your mind control you? Do you dictate your emotions, or do they dictate you? Do you navigate life with purpose, or are you a prisoner to the shifting tides of circumstance? If you can master yourself, you have already won the greatest battle there is. Because in mastering yourself, you master life itself. This is the way of the Stoic. This is how you stop worrying, because you realize that you are always winning, as long as you are growing, enduring, and mastering yourself. Life will never be free of hardship, but hardship will never be greater than the strength you cultivate within yourself. The choice is yours. Step forward and take control of your destiny.